So we're here to talk about what it's like leading on the platform. Is that right, Renee?
Mhm. Yeah, we're all facilitators on the Relateful platform.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get together and and talk about what it's like. How do we like leading for this company? What do we like about engaging with participants? What keeps us here?
I could start. I love, well, I guess when I'm a participant, I get to really be with my inside kind of world and navigate it, get help with understanding what's going on for me and kind of sharing it. And it's cool because I get to hear what other people do with the same feelings that I do. And it's cool. It's not like I become the average. It's I become the wisest part of each person, and I
Mhm.
kind of combine it in me. And there's something about the way that we converse that's so unique, and like we're not I don't find that people are really sharing their internal experience, like how each mechanism of each part in us is kind of working together. And I find it even what I think I really loved and found an explosive growth with when I came at first was people describing their experience of hearing me talk. And it was just, I mean, talk about like just fast forwarding of decades of maturity that I would have to like, if without this practice, I would have to slowly guess by people's faces of like, oh, maybe when I do this and this, that annoys people, or people like this. It's like there's no guesswork. It's just like fully shared. And
Mhm.
I just got such great feedback with that.
Mm.
Yeah, I love that. We get constant feedback in this practice. It's so helpful. I've lived most of my life guessing. Guessing about the impact I have, guessing that was I showed up well or I didn't, and just not really having any idea of how people are receiving me. I love that. I love what you're saying, Shane.
Shane, when you were talking, I was struck by, oh, he's so open to being changed
Mm.
by the others. And I think that's part of the gold is that we're so open to being changed by being in contact with other people. Uh,
One thing that I'm really loving and my attention is very much on it lately for some reason. I think it's because I'm also doing the coaching course and I'm being coached. But this is something I come across in the relateful sessions as well a lot. It's like bringing something. If I take myself as an example, I can bring something that I find really difficult or shameful in myself, and then it would be received in such a completely different way that I expect. So, it could be received with love or with, with honest curiosity, you know? Or, like, I would bring something that for instance, "Yeah, I'm really ashamed of this," and then somebody would go, "Oh, really?" And just that reaction would already can already, like, blow my mind or, like, change my entire perspective on this certain thing, this block or this this thing that I'm having a hard time dealing with. And I love that. And I come across that a lot, and especially recently, and I notice it's like it's teaching me to learn to be more compassionate and loving with the parts in myself that I find hard to be with. Yeah.
Yeah.
And therefore also with the others, like things that I'm finding annoying or hard to be with in others, or like, or this person's energy right now is bringing up tension in me. It's like, oh, okay, what's like honest curiosity? Oh, what's happening here? Wow, what is this showing me? What is this teaching me right now? Yeah.
Yeah, we get to look more closely at the projections. We're doing them already all day, all the time anyway. And then it's a space where we can really carefully look at what's the thing I'm making this about right now. And we can even get, if we're willing to ask for it, get support from people in the group. Help me look through this. And there's something I think I want to know or see or understand here about how I'm perceiving things. And it's really welcome.
I think
Just
about
like
introducing this to somebody new,
mm,
and, I remember, before I learned these things about, projection is a different thing than curiosity, is a different thing to not knowing and finding they're different things, and, we take them for granted, but it used to be one big blur in me, and helping other people learn these distinctions is so powerful, but I mean, it is, simple in a lot of ways, and I forget how amazing that was to have those distinctions and be able to practice the distinctions in a way, and we get to do that with people who've never looked at it before. It's really fun. Yeah.
one thing I find it's probably difficult for all facilitators, but like when somebody's really passionate about something and you're like, you're obviously doing the wrong thing. Like you got to learn that and kind of gently directing them to like, what's, where is this really from? And they're like, no, it's not from anything. It's just like, they're obviously like, it's rational. They're obviously doing can't you see I'm being rational? And, uh, and just that aha moment of like, oh, this is about my fourth grade bully pushing me for this reason. And then just being like, whoa, and that's been directing my whole life. It's like, it's like they get a chance to like clean out the attic. And like, whoa, there was this gunk in there that was just like driving all my decisions. And actually, they weren't great decisions that I was making.
And there's a way we can have compassion for that. When you look at it, "Oh, it's about the 4th grade bully." It's like, "Oh, of course I've been doing that. Uh, oh, I don't have to do that anymore."
Hmm.
New people, like you were saying, learning the projections, the terms, the things.
Mhm.
Um, for me, it comes up, I think, of shame and anger when I first started, and how powerful it was to learn this distinction of anger, the difference between being angry and being with anger
Mm.
changed everything for me. And I think even thinking that way, that there's a difference is novel for many. That you can just sit there and taste it. And so in a session and we facilitate, like, can we stay here? Can we be with this? And like you said, Elsa, or something about like shocking that like me speaking to the anger didn't make the faces go, get away, stop. They were like shockingly like curious and like It doesn't hurt me to hear you describe your anger, and it was so shocking to me, like, "Oh, if anything, if I touch anger, I'm bad. If I'm in anger in any way, it's bad." And it changed everything to go, "Oh, I'm gonna have a relationship with anger through this practice." It's changed how I can react, how I'm calmer, everything like and then similarly with shame, it was huge. Learning to be with shame, or we just we're somebody was talking about that earlier, like, getting to have a flavor and having facilitation of, like, what's that like, what's it to really get close to what these experiences are, because I think speaking to people who don't do this or this is new, um, we don't we the me in the past, I wasn't thinking I'm feeling shame. I would just react. I would just run or fight or whatever. And now it's like, "Oh, this is my shame." And then when it first happened after one of those experiences of getting to taste it, something happened that triggered that physical and that emotional feeling in my body that somebody had said something. And instead of me blaming them for my feelings, I was like, "This is mine. This is my experience." And then I just got to be with it and not dramatize it, entangle another person, blame, and so, I think with all the different emotions this can happen for me specifically, and these are really hard ones for a lot of people, just learning to be with shame and anger in new ways, and getting to be with people as a facilitator in that place where it's like, "This is okay, like, we're safe to explore this. We're" we don't have to run from it, which what we do in society, I think, in casual conversations, we run from those hard places. I don't know if that speaks to, there's so many different types of people that are aware and thinking about things like projection, and there's people who never have, and then they get to a certain point in their life where they're like, "Well, why do I have less people around me?" Or "Why do people walk away when I tell a long story?" Or whatever it is. Like, they like to explore who we are in relation to others. It's been really profound. And then being on the other end as a facilitator, it's enriching to be with people in that process.
Mm. Yeah, I think I've been on the platform in one form or the other for 9 years, and, some would wonder why I don't get bored or, something, and I feel it as a privilege, and humans are unique, and so it's never the same. The session is ever the same, and this particular combination of people who are here is unique, and I really love it. It feels like home in some way to be in this practice with people.
Yeah, I just thought about that this practice has been a big part of my life for more than 10 years, and it's and I think it's many things which I think are amazing with this practice, but right now all I can feel is how wonderful it is to have this space where it's possible to slow down and really feel myself and feel the others in the group, like the aliveness and presence, like this practicing of presence, and how that feels really wonderful and also sometimes really painful, but how it impacts my life in every other field that I have this uh, possibility to reconnect with myself. I feel in a very busy everyday life, I have this goal directed attention all the time, like all the time tasks or something which needs to be done or focused on. But in this practice, it's possible to kind of, the awareness will expand and you get access to the periphery of your awareness, and how that creates possibilities of connecting with different layers of yourself and others, and how that
actually opens up uh, possibilities for more wonder and magic and more joy in life and flow. I think that's really important, and it's so simple in a way to just show up to this hour, both as a facilitator and participant. I feel this, and do this really simple presence exploration of what is alive here with us, with me, and how that actually may transform your life completely. That's amazing.
It's weird. People talk about, being, oh, I don't want to be online and, I want to really be with people and that sort of thing.
Mm.
Um, and there's some way that the screen kind of dissolves for me. I wonder how it is for you guys, honestly, whether it feels like you're not really with people and you're sort of with a facsimile of people or how this is.
Sometimes feel like closer on Zoom because um I can see everyone at once. I don't feel like I miss as much in a in-person circle, and they're different. And I've said this for years as a big online person that they're so different. They should almost be called different things. And you can have your camera on or off. You can see how you're experiencing in connection, how you appear. And again, I keep looking at it from like outside of Relateful social settings of how are we showing up? How are we in a group? How are we um and so then in online it's like you're really having this ability to see yourself that you can't in any other place in the world, but really it's seeing everyone at once. And there's something like you can feel each other. Like sometimes people close their eyes or like sometimes I let mine be blurry and I still feel like I can feel every energy center in every box. And I really like what you said earlier, Valerie. It's never boring and it's always different. And from my very first session, that was the one thing I said. I'm always in life classes are very easily bored. And from the very first session, I was like, hooked. This is not boring. Nothing compares to this practice.
There's something that makes me wanna go, "Oh, and boredom is allowed here too."
Yes.
It's just that I don't normally experience.
Yeah, there's something where in this practice we're bringing presence to what's happening in connection, in the now, and there's so much aliveness that comes with that, that it is usually not boring. Like, it's hard to be bored when I'm really present and taking myself in and taking you all in and attuning to what's happening right now. There's just so much there that's rich.
I speak and kind of both in myself as holding two kind of seemingly different qualities. Like I'm connected with my heart. I feel this warmth and uh love being here. And I also like hold fear. Like I feel my hands trembling, knowing this is being recorded, and that creates some nervousness in me and what to say. Um and I hold that as being a part of my experience right now, but as also holding it as being a facilitator or being a part of the company as something that have been wrestling with a lot is like stepping in, showing up. So like that, it feels like that's what's called Like that's what I'm invited to do when being a part of the company. But I'm also with this feeling of being held, like embraced with everyone here, like with this love and yeah, we want you here. So like that's for me what kind of what the relatefulness culture is, and like holding both.
I love you bringing that in, Victoria. Yeah, there is a, a love and a connectedness with all of us. It's um, it's an amazing community. Uh, just I know that if I needed you all, I could just reach out and you'd be there. And the same, you do this practice long enough with people, and there's just this bed of, I don't know, what would you call it? Knowing, connection, trust, allowing distrust. Just something really beautiful between us all. Yeah. Jeff, you're new to being a facilitator. I would love to, you got more fresh eyes on it, you and Yvonne. What's the experience like for you?
There's something that I've been paying attention to a bit more lately in the practice, which is in like normal culture right now, it's really hyper individual. And there's a way that the practice gets us more in touch with how emotions move through a room, and they're not like an individual experience, and how we kind of lost a lot of that. It's something I'm enjoying getting in touch with more often.
We're not these isolated beings in a group. I love what you're saying, Jeffrey, 'cause there is a ripple impact. Any of us, we can't help but impact each other. And helps me see the group in a new way. We aren't isolated.
Like the aliveness you're talking about is an ecosystem of aliveness. We're all affecting each other all the time in the world in our sessions, but we're really able to bring that in.
Yeah, that for me links into what I was mulling over your question, Valerie, like the difference, like how it is online. And I've been with like, oh, what is the difference for me online or in person, this practice? And because I really love in person and I love my body and being with other bodies in the room. Yet it really feels like online is a it's a, just like a different flavor of this practice. It's not quite the same as it is in person. And for me, it has to do with um, what you were saying about Yvonne is, and also Jeff. It's like because everyone is visible, because we look and see everybody at the same time, and like I literally can't just you can't tell if I'm looking into your eyes, or maybe you can feel it. Um, I get I get way more. For me, it's way more about the the group and the field that we're all in together. Yeah, and that's quite specific of the relateful practice online for me anyway. Yeah, I like that.